Hey man, what's good with y'all YouTube? It's Vibe with Saul back with it again. And today we're gonna be checking out the top 10 creepiest Lyle and Erik Menendez interview moments. And bro, I've been watching this little series on Netflix for about I don't know how long, but I'm like 5 episodes in. And this story is actually crazy. This whole how everything unfolds. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it, I'm about to say something in like 3 seconds. I gave y'all enough time. But anyways, basically these two brothers, they killed their parents. And the more I watch it, the more like I understand why they did it, why they felt the need to do it. Me personally, I would never ever do that. Cause like killing my parents, that's crazy. Killing somebody in general is crazy, but parents, but it seemed like they, in their position, cause their dad threatened to kill them, they thought their parents were gonna kill them. Like their mom, cause the gun in the purse and everything, taken out to the lake at night, then try to come back in the car, kill them in the car. So they thought it was either kill or be killed. So in that scenario, I'm like, damn, they low key. I see what they're saying, bro. I see what they're saying, but the problem is, first of all, I don't know why they confess everything while on the recording. That's stupid. It doesn't matter if he's not allowed to say anything, bro. Don't say nothing to him, because at the end of the day, you can't force him not to say something to him. A piece of paper can't force him not to say something. And although he did keep it real, he still told other people. He told old girl that he had the voice recording and stuff. And that was enough that was needed. He said way too much. He was not supposed to tell anybody, but he told her that. So that's their first mistake. That series is actually so good so far, though. I heard there's some controversy about it, about Erik being gay, because they said that's doing too much. Like he wasn't supposed to be gay, getting sexually abused by his brother or something. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and check this out. It's from the
We turn next tonight here to the case that captured the attention of this country, the Menendez brothers, Erik and Lyle.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're breaking down the most chilling moments from the Menendez brothers case, in their own words.
And they actually look really alike. Not the brothers themselves, but the actors to the brothers.
I learned from the time I was a small boy to hold in pain and not express it physically.
Okay.
August 20th, 1989. The Menendez murders. Erik tells all.
Later that night, my dad
were y'all alive?
Pounding on my door.
My dad was.
Telling me to open up the door in my bedroom. I remember holding the gun, sitting on my bed, waiting to see if he was going to break down the door.
As we'll get into a little later,
shit.
the Menendez brothers have always said that José and Kitty Menendez's abuse was so bad that it caused them to fear for their lives. To that end,
in that scenario, what are you supposed to do? Like, I'm not saying anything right about them killing their parents. If you kill somebody, you got to be locked up. But in that scenario, what are you supposed to do? Your dad is one of the richest people in the world. And he's like controlling you. He's sexually abusing y'all, and he say y'all can't go anywhere or he's gonna hurt y'all. You think they want to kill you? What are you supposed to do? The police come. There's not enough evidence. I mean, CPS, I guess, but he's the richest man, so like he's gonna pay money. I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Y'all let me know in the comments. What would y'all do in this
Erik's
scenario?
comments about the night of the murders themselves will put a chill down your spine.
I remember this terror coursing through me that this was it. It was all going to happen now. You know, for the first time, I was gonna confront my dad.
Damn.
Not back down.
Erik asserts that in the midst of building family tension,
just like him.
José pounded on his door. Erik feared that he would be killed. As the younger brother elaborates, Erik claims to have been sitting in bed with his gun in hand, waiting for his father to make a move. While, per Erik's account, José eventually gave up. This incident foreshadows the horror that was to come.
That is crazy.
In my mind, it didn't even matter that I was holding this gun. I felt like as soon as Dad broke through that door, I was going to die.
So is this in the interview? Like, obviously interview. Wait. Interview. So is this like the interview for the Netflix series? The interview when he's already incarcerated, or the interview with the therapist, the therapy session? Obviously it's not for the Netflix because they made it based on everything they had, so that would be stupid, but
I didn't care because I was never going to let Dad come in my room and do that again.
Grief and Rolexes.
I think the Diddy case is worse than this. I'm gonna
It was the same life before or afterwards.
With more money.
With more money.
Speaking
like
to
Erik
Barbara
is talking
Walters
more
for
in real life.
ABC's 2020 after their stunning
haven't heard
sentence had been
Lyle.
handed down to them,
Also,
Lyle
the
and
video
Erik
just
answered
started.
some of the nagging questions that remained after their years-long ordeal in court. Walters' characteristically blunt interviewing style left no stone unturned, nor did it let the Menendez brothers off the hook.
It got to a point where I have all this money and so much pain, I don't know what to do with it, and eventually...
I don't know, you're losing me.
At one point, the veteran journalist drilled down on the brothers' $700,000 spending spree. Walters demanded answers as to how two people could even feel like shopping for luxury items after having committed.
That's their first mistake. They had a lot of first mistakes. But, bro, if your parents died in the next week, next day you spending all kind of money, looking happy as hell, nobody's going to think you're grieving. And I'm not even going to say too much. Because I love Melly. I love YNW Melly. But in a video they took after, it was Snapchat, in a video they took after his friends died, he seemed happy as hell, flexing money with Borland. And that case is still open. And I love Melly. Me personally, I really don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't decide if he did it or not. But you can't do that. You can't make yourself look worse. Even if you're innocent, you can't make yourself look worse. And sometimes it's not your fault because people grieve differently. But in this scenario, we know they did it. That's stupid. I don't know why they decided to go spending all kind of money, looking happy as hell. Like, come on, bro. That's dumb as hell.
Such a heinous crime. In response, Erik revealed that no amount of money could fill the hole they had created, and that it might have simply been a coping mechanism.
I don't think that it's understandable. I mean, people react to some traumatic event like that in different ways.
Just a normal kid, 2020.
I don't know if anyone can be portrayed fairly in the media.
I might stop the videos because my friend's on the way here.
Well, let me say it. There are people, a great number of people, who think that you two are spoiled brats.
In the same 2020 interview, Walters asked the brother about media speculation regarding the case, their upbringing, and even themselves.
Dang, she looked just like the lawyer in the show, too. Oh, my
Lyle and
goodness.
Erik commented that this speculation did not affect the facts of the case, nor did it imply their guilt.
That's not who I am, but I can't defend that. Because
no way he's 18
came
at
from
the time,
family
right?
wealth. It doesn't make me spoiled.
He looked like
in
good
response
26.
to Erik's claim that he's a
Lyle looked
quote-unquote
younger than
normal
Lyle.
kid, Walters is bewildered and reminds him that he is a convicted murderer, found guilty of having taken both of his parents' lives. While Erik's statement may seem absurd on the surface, his follow-up, in which he declares himself to be a normal person who has gone through abnormal experiences, places it in context. Appearances are indeed often deceiving.
But I don't think you aren't guilty because they found you spoiled.
Or evil.
Or evil. Just a normal, I'm just a normal kid.
Oh, Erik, you're a normal kid who killed your parents.
Preparation
Yeah, I'm not
for
gonna lie.
prison.
Some abnormal stuff can happen to you, but at the end of the day, if you kill your parents, I'm not looking at you as normal, bro. Unless like they trying to kill you for no given reason, is it 100% self-defense? I don't know. This whole situation makes me want to
ABC World News Tonight.
I am the kid
I'm just not looking
that
at y'all
killed
normal.
his parents, and
But it's not
no
y'all
reflection
fault, bro. That's
has
just
changed
that's the
that.
thing.
No amount of regret has changed it.
Lyle's 2017 press interview, his first in over
2017?
20 years since the in-person Walters interview, revealed a calmer, more mature Menendez brother. While sticking firmly to his long-held positions regarding the case,
Dang, 2017?
Lyle expressed remorse and lamented the futility of the case, sharing that he and his brother's decision to kill their parents could likely have been avoided with greater forethought.
My own childhood prepared me surprisingly well for the chaos of prison life.
The elder brother's more revealing quote from the interview, however, was a remark that illustrated the depths of José's depravity. That is, Lyle's childhood had essentially trained him to handle prison.
It's still a failed, destructive ending.
Is it because the
Part
molester?
of the tragedy of it.
He's already used to it?
Not have happened.
New allegations against José. 48 hours.
For me, it was very meaningful to just have things come out that
1988 to, bro, they foreshadowing, they preparing his death date, bro.
caused
They could have at least put
people to really
president.
realize, okay, at least this part of what it's about.
They're waiting to type that
Throughout
next
the
number.
Menendez brothers' trial, a massive obstacle that they ultimately failed to overcome was the lack of physical evidence of the alleged abuse they suffered. While those allegations were backed up by court testimony, as well as written and verbal accounts on Lyle and Erik's part,
That's what they
were
look
still
like?
found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Who is that?
What do you remember about the Menudo band members going to your home?
Only that my father had sort of intimate involvement with that particular group.
This
They usually
makes
would
me
not
want to
have
throw
too
up
much
so bad,
involvement
bro.
with
Looking at their real faces.
negotiations.
However, in
Not 'cause
2023,
they ugly,
new
but
evidence came to light that tentatively
just
carried the
'cause you know
potential
what
of
happened.
freeing the brothers. Roy Rosselló, a member of Puerto Rican band Menudo, claimed that José Menendez had drugged and assaulted him as a minor. Lyle's recollection of Menudo visiting the family home will surely creep you out.
People in the industry were talking about that maybe something had happened because there was a sex scandal in the group.
Trading it all away. Dateline NBC.
I would trade my entire defense for a 30-second video of my father.
In a phone interview with
Damn.
Dateline NBC's Keith
A 30-second
Morrison,
video?
Lyle Menendez put the abuse his father inflicted upon him in no uncertain terms. When asked by the investigative journalist if he was avoiding responsibility by blaming the aforementioned abuse, the elder Menendez brother asserted that, in essence, a video of his father's atrocious behavior would trump any legal defense and convince any juror.
I would trade my whole case for it because I think it's so sanitized and so easy to use the word abuse. Oh, the abuse wasn't so bad.
Pressed by Morrison as to why the brothers didn't simply pack up and leave, Lyle countered by declaring that no matter where they tried to run and hide, their father would catch them.
That's what I was saying, because my dad told me the same thing. He didn't watch the series, but he heard about the case, like, whenever he was coming up. But, like, it'll be scenarios, like, my dad told me that. Why didn't they just move out? And I'm like, their dad is rich. And Erik tried to run a million times, but he ended up getting stopped a million times. He ran down the block, he ran across the street, he'll get caught. Like, what are you supposed to do in that scenario? Hold on, I'm finna get my friend. All right, my fault about that, but like, real talk.
But the
I don't
consequences
even
would be
know what I
dire.
was saying.
We finally just kind of got overwhelmed with this panic and emotion and made the decision to run in that room.
Lyle's Devil's Pact. Dateline NBC.
I spent
What is that cut, bro?
And I just feel like part of that pact I have with my dad is I'm keeping this secret.
Lyle commented on the events of the case with years' worth of hindsight. Perhaps one of the interview's most chilling moments was Lyle's articulation of his feelings regarding José's alleged abuse.
And for you to have done this to my brother, it was like
They
I
did
kept
mention
my
that,
part
yeah.
of this sort of devil's pact.
He was saying like he felt worse about his dad doing that to Erik, cause like it's his brother. He's not supposed to do that.
And you didn't.
Reflecting on keeping the abuse under wraps, Lyle described feelings that are unfortunately
I remember
all
it was
too
one scene they went upstairs too. He's like, Erik, come on. He's yelling at him and shit. It was like, bro.
common for victims of
It
such
was just
mistreatment.
crazy.
Most uncomfortably
I don't
of
get how
all,
people could be
Lyle
like that.
stated that his mother felt that the boys had somehow come in between her and her husband.
Yeah,
While,
yeah, yeah.
of course, the truth in
mentioned
the
that a lot.
Menendez case is likely
She said that she
unknowable,
wanted them dead. She didn't
details
want
like
them.
these provide uneasy
would say they were never
insights into the
born.
minds of abusers.
You know, reflecting afterwards, it haunts me. It does haunt me.
On Taking Their Mother's Life, 2020.
And my
That was
mother
crazy.
was on the couch and she had been drinking.
But she knew about the
And
molesting too.
she said, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "Nothing, nothing. You wouldn't understand."
It's inarguable
Yeah.
that the Menendez case has been
That's
endlessly
accurate.
debated,
exactly
scrutinized,
what happened.
pored over, and analyzed. What is often easy to forget, however, is that there are real human players at its core, not just characters in a Netflix miniseries. As such, hearing about
That's the
the
crazy
actual
thing about it,
abuse
is
that the boys
actual-
are alleged to have suffered will tend to remind you of that.
What do you think? I'm stupid? And she told me that she knew, that she had known all my life with my father.
Crazy. What, bro? This is a crazy ad. That's a crazy way to put an ad in. Come on. It's a long one too, bro. This whole situation is insane. What y'all doing if y'all
Was
mom
doing-
knew about it?
When
Put
prompted
yourself
by
in that
Walters to
scenario.
explain
What would y'all
why
do?
they had decided to kill their mother, Erik's response is stomach-churning for a number of reasons. Chief among them,
She was
the
always on his
clearly
side.
emotional Erik's account of confessing the abuse to Kitty Menendez goes terribly awry, with his mother revealing that she had always known, and that she blamed her sons for it.
And I just saw Dad and Mom as the same person at that point. I saw them as a single person.
Why they did it, 2020.
Do you still think about the night
Make
of the
me
murder?
sick, bro.
every day.
You both do?
Since their 1990 arrest, the Menendez brothers have maintained that their decision to permanently take care of their parents was motivated not by greed or bitterness, but retribution for past abuse, as well as alleged threats on their lives.
Yeah.
First thing that comes to mind
Yeah,
is
yeah,
terror.
that's what I said. That was how I was talking about. They was
so
sparing their life.
afraid. A few days before, I had said to myself, I am never going to let my father touch me again, after I told Lyle that it had been continuing on.
When prompted by Walters to comment on what had caused them to snap, Erik and Lyle shared that in
I'm not
their
gonna lie, he got a
view, they
good
were afraid
facial
that their
structure
father,
that,
José Menendez, would snap first.
type thing,
It
better than
goes without
Lyle's.
saying that while the events as described by the brothers
But
are
Erik do
horrifying
look
and
more evil than
heartbreaking,
Lyle.
it is shiver-inducing to hear the reasoning, rationale, and level of insight that would lead to such an atrocity.
But you'd bought the guns. It wasn't something that just happened that moment. You'd thought about it.
No.
You bought the guns in advance. They just weren't in the house.
Yes, we bought the guns in advance.
So this
We
didn't
bought the
just happen
guns.
that moment.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel
Oh.
and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Appreciate
you have
you.
the option to be
Who was that?
notified for occasional
He do
videos
look
or
familiar.
all of them. If you're on your phone,
Make a
make sure
YNW
you go into
belly
your
when I watch
settings
it.
and switch on notifications.
Why
Pain
did I just let
training.
that play
The
through?
Menendez murders. Erik tells all.
I learned from the time I was a small boy to hold in pain and not
That was the
express it
first clip we
physically.
seen.
Regardless of personal beliefs, it seems safe to say that, as described by Lyle and Erik Menendez, the abuse they claim to have endured was soul-crushing, mind-numbing, and everything in between. For a disturbing, concrete example of this, look once more to Erik's own words as part of A&E's Erik Tells All
Talk to me, talk to me.
documentary-series.
Talk to me.
It came all the way down to not being allowed to cry, not being allowed to express pain.
Dang.
And what would happen when I expressed pain with shame, or I would get hit for that.
The younger brother
that's
claims
crazy.
that José's boys were forbidden from demonstrating any kind of emotion, and that he, quote, trained them to repress their pain and inner turmoil. As such, José allegedly forced
Training them to
Lyle
do
to
that is
strike
crazy,
Erik's,
bro.
quote, pressure points until he was in agony. As Erik describes, any resistance only led to harsher treatment.
One time, he felt Lyle was holding back on him. Told Lyle harder, and Lyle whispered, "I'm sorry," and I screamed out.
If you or someone you know is struggling,
Yeah.
please don't.
They made that a scene too. I remember that Lyle was in the bed and he was like, I forgot exactly what happened, but then his dad got in the bed and then Lyle ran out the room, started banging on his brother's door. I don't like one thing. They never mentioned about having sexual relations with each other, and I don't like that a part of the show, bro. That every time, first of all, they kissed in like the second episode. That was gay. Then every time something would happen, something bad would happen, Lyle would put his hands on his brother's face and like be all close to him, head to head. That's gay. No, I mean, type shit. It's just like, why put that in there if it's not true? And I don't know how, like, they found out about it in jail when it just released, but apparently they got some whole controversy going on. Nobody likes that, since it's not true. If it was true, that'd be one thing. I wouldn't be having this conversation, but why put that in there and just like making them look worse, like worse than what it was? Because his brother, I don't even know if he really got molested by his brother, but if he did, that's tough. Anyways, I think they should be free. I seen Kim Kardashian said they should be free, and I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not gonna lie, you kill your parents, you shouldn't be free. Because they could have resorted to something else before that. Even though it would be hard. Y'all let me know, what would y'all do in that situation, man? If y'all like that, go ahead and check out my other videos, though. I'm going to probably put them on the screen as well. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I can teach you something, show you how to move. I can teach you something, show you how to groove. I can teach you something, show you where that too. You wanna